Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of July 6 to July 10 suggest that Tomas Navarro may be ready to take one of the biggest steps of his life by proposing to Catherine Cat Richardson. On the surface, this should be a romantic turning point, the kind of moment that brings hope, excitement, and maybe even a little healing after everything Cat has endured. But in Fairmont Crest, love is rarely simple, and a proposal is never just a proposal. The moment Tomas gets down on one knee, Cat will not only be asked to choose a future with him. She will also be forced to confront her own fears, her unresolved rivalry with Eva Thomas, her complicated feelings toward Leslie Thomas, and the deeper question of whether she is truly ready for marriage or simply tempted by what an engagement might represent. Will Cat say yes because she loves Tomas and believes in their future, or will she accept for the wrong reasons? Using the proposal as a weapon in a rivalry that everyone thought had finally cooled down, the big question fans are asking is simple: will Cat accept Tomas's proposal, or will she turn him down? But the real drama lies beneath that answer. Cat Richardson has already shown that she is not the kind of woman who likes being rushed into emotional commitments. When Tomas previously suggested that they move in together, Cat rejected the idea because she felt things were moving too quickly. That decision said a lot about her. Cat may care deeply for Tomas, and she may even see a future with him, but she also values control, timing, and emotional certainty. She does not want to be pushed into a life-changing decision just because the relationship looks good from the outside. That is why this proposal could place her in such an impossible position. If she was not ready to live with Tomas only a few months ago, is she truly ready now to marry him? Has enough changed between them to make marriage feel right? Or is Tomas mistaking crisis, gratitude, and emotional intensity for lasting certainty? Of course, a lot has happened since Tomas first asked Cat to take that next step. The emotional landscape has changed dramatically. Cat is no longer standing in the same place she was when she rejected the idea of living together. She has been through danger, sacrifice, pain, and a life-altering medical crisis that forced her to look at family, loyalty, and forgiveness in a new way. Most importantly, Cat risked her own life to save Eva by donating part of her liver. That single decision shifted the entire dynamic between them. What once looked like a bitter rivalry between two women connected by family secrets and emotional wounds suddenly became something more complicated, and perhaps more powerful. Cat did something that could not be dismissed as petty, performative, or convenient. She gave Eva a chance to live. That kind of sacrifice changes people, even if it does not instantly erase years of resentment, jealousy, insecurity, or pain. For a while, it seemed as if the rivalry between Cat, Eva, and Leslie Thomas had finally reached a turning point. Cat and Eva's hospital recovery scenes showed a softer, funnier, more human side of their relationship. In the episode that aired Friday, June 26, fans saw Cat and Eva engage in a mock race around the hospital with their walkers as they recovered from surgery. It was a surprisingly light moment after so much emotional heaviness. Both women took the silly competition seriously, and that humor made the scene memorable. But Beyond the Gates rarely includes a moment like that without meaning. The walker race may have been funny, but it also may have been symbolic. Cat and Eva were moving forward, but slowly. They were competing, but not with cruelty. They were healing, but still not fully healed. They were side by side, yet still measuring themselves against each other. That little hospital race could easily foreshadow the next phase of their story. Not a race around a hospital hallway, but a race toward the future, toward love, toward family approval, and maybe even toward the altar. That is why Tomas's proposal could reopen emotional doors that everyone assumed had been closed. If Cat becomes engaged, the news may not only affect Tomas and Cat. It could ripple through Eva's world, Leslie's ambitions, and Ted Richardson's heart. Leslie has made it clear that she wants Eva and Isaiah Hawthorne, also known as Lummy, to become engaged. Leslie is not someone who simply hopes for things quietly. When she wants something, she tends to push, scheme, pressure, or manipulate until the people around her are dragged into her vision of what should happen. If Leslie sees Cat wearing an engagement ring before Eva, it could ignite something ugly inside her. Leslie may view Cat's engagement not as a personal milestone, but as an insult. In her mind, Eva deserves the happiness, the spotlight, the public celebration, and the emotional victory. Leslie may convince herself that Kat is once again stealing something that should belong to Eva. But would Eva actually feel that way? That is where the story becomes more layered. Eva may not openly resent Kat if Tomas proposes. In fact, Eva may sincerely want to be happy for her, especially after the liver donation brought them closer. Eva understands, more than anyone, what Kat gave up and risked. She may feel grateful, humbled, and emotionally bound to Kat in a way that makes open jealousy feel wrong, but gratitude does not always erase envy. Deep down, Eva may still feel a sting if Kat gets engaged first. She may not hate Kat for it. She may not even want to admit that it hurts. But if Eva watches Kat being celebrated, watched over, praised, and prepared for a wedding, it could awaken old insecurities. Eva has spent so much time fighting for her place, her identity, her recognition, and her future. Seeing Kat step into a dream that Leslie desperately wants for Eva could make Eva feel as if she is once again arriving second. Kat, meanwhile, may have her own complicated motives. If Tomas proposes, her first instinct may not be a clean yes or no. She may freeze. She may remember that she once told him she did not want to move too fast. She may wonder whether marriage is a beautiful next step or a dangerous acceleration. Yet at the same time, Kat may also feel tempted by the power of saying yes. An engagement would prove that she has something solid, something enviable, something that belongs to her. After months of emotional chaos involving Eva and Leslie, Kat may enjoy the idea of being the one people talk about. She may like the image of Leslie having to watch her plan a wedding. She may even like the thought of Ted Richardson walking her down the aisle before he ever gets the chance to do that for Eva. That possibility is especially important because Ted's role in Kat and Eva's lives carries emotional weight. For Kat, being escorted by Ted at her wedding would not just be tradition. It would be a statement of belonging, legitimacy, and priority. That is where the danger lies. Kat may love Tomas, but love alone may not be what pushes her answer. If she says yes partly because she wants to hurt Leslie, outshine Eva, or secure her place in Ted's heart, then the engagement could be built on unstable ground from the very beginning. Tomas may believe he is receiving Kat's full heart, but Kat may be giving him a complicated mixture of affection, pride, insecurity, and revenge. That does not mean her feelings for Tomas are fake. It means the timing of the proposal may expose emotions that Kat has not fully processed. She may convince herself that saying yes is proof of growth, proof that she is ready to embrace happiness, proof that the rivalry no longer controls her. But what if the rivalry is exactly what makes the yes feel so satisfying? Tomas's perspective matters too. From his point of view, proposing may seem like the right thing to do. He has seen Kat go through an extraordinary ordeal. He may feel that life is fragile, time is precious, and love should not be postponed. Watching Kat risk herself to save Eva could have made him admire her even more. He may see her bravery, her loyalty, and her capacity for forgiveness, and conclude that she is the woman he wants beside him forever. In that sense, Tomas's proposal may come from a sincere and romantic place. He may not be trying to pressure Kat. He may be trying to honor what they have survived. But sincerity does not guarantee wisdom. Tomas may be reading Kat's emotional transformation as readiness for marriage, when in reality, Kat may still be recovering from trauma, family upheaval, and the exhausting process of redefining her relationship with Eva. If Kat turns him down, the consequences could be painful but honest. Tomas would be hurt, especially if he believes their relationship has deepened enough to justify the proposal. He may wonder whether Kat's refusal means she does not love him enough or whether she never truly saw him as her future. Kat, on the other hand, could argue that rejecting the proposal is not rejecting Tomas. It may simply mean she refuses to repeat the same pattern of moving too quickly just because emotions are high. In some ways, saying no could be the healthiest choice if she is not ready. It could show maturity. It could prove that she has learned to be honest with herself, even when honesty hurts someone she loves. But in soap opera terms, a rejected proposal rarely stays private. If Leslie learns that Tomas proposed and Kat refused, Leslie may weaponize the news. She could mock Kat, question her relationship, or suggest that Kat only turned him down because she is incapable of real commitment. Eva might try to stay neutral, but even her sympathy could be interpreted the wrong way. If Kat says yes, the drama may be even more explosive, and acceptance would create instant excitement, but also instant pressure. Everyone would want to know when the wedding will happen, how Ted feels, how Eva feels, and whether Leslie will try to interfere. Leslie's reaction could become the true spark that pushes the storyline forward. If she believes Kat is using the engagement to gain attention, Leslie may retaliate by pressuring Isaiah to propose to Eva sooner than planned. That could turn love into competition. Suddenly, instead of one happy engagement, Fairmont Crest could be dealing with a dangerous emotional race. Kat and Tomas on one side, Eva and Isaiah on the other, with Leslie trying to control the outcome from the shadows. The hospital walker race would then become a perfect piece of foreshadowing. What began as a joke between two recovering women could transform into a symbolic race to the altar. But the emotional stakes are higher than simple rivalry. Kat and Eva's relationship is still fragile. The liver donation may have bonded them, but it also created a debt that neither woman fully knows how to carry. Eva may feel that she owes Kat her life, and that could make it difficult for her to express any uncomfortable feelings. If Kat's engagement hurts her, Eva may swallow that pain because she feels she has no right to be jealous. Kat, meanwhile, may expect Eva to support her completely because of what she sacrificed. That expectation could become unfair, even if Kat does not intend it that way. When someone saves your life, the relationship can become emotionally uneven. Gratitude can silence honesty. Sacrifice can become power. If Beyond the Gates leans into that complexity, Kat's engagement could reveal that saving Eva did not magically solve everything. It merely changed the battlefield. There is also the question of whether Kat herself understands what she wants. She may enjoy the idea of being chosen. After everything that has happened, Tomas's proposal could feel like validation. It could tell her that she is loved, wanted, and seen. For someone who has been caught in a family storm involving Eva and Leslie, that kind of romantic certainty may be deeply tempting. But marriage is not just a prize. It is not a trophy to hold up in front of Leslie. It is not a way to prove that Ted values her. It is not a finish line in a race against Eva. If Kat accepts because she wants the ring more than the marriage, the relationship could suffer later. Tomas may eventually sense that something is off. He may notice that Kat seems more focused on reactions than on commitment. He may wonder why Leslie's anger matters so much, or why Eva's timeline keeps coming up in conversations about their wedding. Once that doubt enters his mind, the engagement could become less of a promise and more of a test. Ted Richardson's role could deepen the drama even further. Kat may privately fantasize about Ted walking her down the aisle, not only because she loves him, but because that moment would symbolize his public recognition of her. If Eva has longed for the same kind of fatherly support, then Kat's wedding could unintentionally reopen a wound. Ted may try to be fair, loving, and supportive to both women, but fairness is not always enough in a family filled with old pain. If he appears too excited about Kat's engagement, Eva may feel overlooked. If he is too careful around Eva, Kat may feel robbed of her moment. Leslie could exploit either reaction. She could whisper to Eva that Kat is taking what should have been hers, or she could accuse Ted of favoring Kat in ways that prove old patterns have not changed. A wedding should unite families, but in this case, even the planning stage could expose every unresolved fracture. The proposal may also test whether Kat and Eva's new bond is strong enough to survive happiness. It is one thing to bond through crisis. It is another thing to support each other when one person receives a dream the other person still wants. Pain can bring people together because everyone understands the seriousness of the moment. Happiness can be harder because happiness invites comparison. If Kat gets the ring, the attention, the wedding plans, and Ted's proud smile, Eva may have to decide whether she can truly celebrate her or whether she is still trapped in the old habit of measuring her life against Kat's. Kat, in turn, may have to decide whether she wants Eva beside her because she truly values her or because having Eva witness her success makes the victory sweeter. This is why Kat's answer to Tomas cannot be viewed as a simple romantic choice. A yes could be beautiful, but it could also be dangerous. And no could be painful, but it could also be wise. The most compelling possibility is that Kat says yes while knowing, deep down, that her reasons are not entirely pure. She may tell herself that she is choosing love, and maybe she is. But she may also be choosing status, security, revenge, and emotional advantage. That kind of layered decision is exactly what makes Beyond the Gates so dramatic. Characters rarely do the wrong thing for completely wrong reasons. They often do something that looks right, feels good, and sounds defensible, while hiding a motive they are not ready to admit. If Kat accepts Tomas's proposal, fans should watch closely for her reaction after the public excitement fades. Does she look at Tomas with peace, or does she immediately look around to see who is watching? Does she call Eva because she wants to share the news, or because she wants to measure Eva's reaction? Does she worry about Leslie's anger, or does she secretly enjoy it? Does she talk about building a life with Tomas, or does she talk about the wedding as a symbolic win? These subtle clues could reveal whether Kat's yes is rooted in love or tangled in rivalry. Likewise, Tomas's reaction will matter. If he notices hesitation and ignores it, he may be setting himself up for heartbreak. If he asks the right questions and gives Kat room to be honest, their relationship might survive the pressure. But if both of them pretend the proposal solves everything, trouble is almost guaranteed. Leslie, of course, could become the wild card. If Kat and Tomas become engaged, Leslie may not be able to resist interfering. She may push Eva toward Isaiah, trying to create a competing engagement. She may make cutting remarks about Kat's timing, suggesting that Kat used the liver donation to gain sympathy and then turned around to claim the spotlight. She may accuse Kat of wanting to beat Eva to the altar. Even if those accusations are cruel, they may contain just enough truth to unsettle Kat. That is Leslie's power. She knows how to strike at the insecurity people are trying hardest to hide. If Kat is secretly accepting the proposal for the wrong reasons, Leslie may be the first person to say it out loud. Eva may find herself in the most difficult position of all. If she defends Kat, Leslie may feel betrayed. If she listens to Leslie, Kat may feel wounded. If she stays silent, both sides may accuse her of hiding her true feelings. Eva's recovery has already placed her in an emotionally vulnerable state. She owes Kat her life, but she also owes herself honesty. If Kat's engagement hurts her, she will need to admit that without letting jealousy control her. That would be real growth. But if Eva buries her feelings to preserve peace, resentment could grow quietly until it erupts later. Beyond the Gates could use this engagement storyline to explore whether Eva and Kat are truly becoming sisters in spirit, or whether they are simply enjoying a temporary ceasefire after a major crisis. In the end, Tomas's proposal could become the spark that reveals where everyone truly stands. For Kat, it is a test of honesty. For Tomas, it is a test of patience and emotional awareness. For Eva, it is a test of grace. For Leslie, it is a test she will almost certainly fail, because watching Kat step into the spotlight may be more than she can bear. The proposal may begin as a romantic gesture, but it could quickly turn into a family earthquake. If Kat says no, she may break Tomas's heart but protect herself from a commitment she is not ready to make. If she says yes, she may gain a fiancé, a ring, and a public victory, but she may also invite Leslie's fury and reopen a rivalry that had only just begun to heal. So, will Kat Richardson accept Tomas Navarro's proposal? The answer may be yes, but the better question is why. If she says yes because she truly sees a future with Tomas, then this could be a beautiful new chapter for them. But if she says yes because she wants to irritate Leslie, outrun Eva, or secure her place in Ted's heart before anyone else can challenge it, then the engagement may be built on emotional quicksand. The liver donation may have saved Eva's life, but it did not erase every wound. The hospital walker race may have looked like a joke, but it may have quietly warned fans that Kat and Eva are still moving side by side, still competing, still trying to reach a finish line neither fully understands. And if the next finish line is the altar, then Beyond the Gates may be preparing viewers for a new kind of race, one where love, pride, family, jealousy, and revenge all collide before anyone says I do. For now, all eyes are on Kat. Tomas may have the ring, but Kat holds the real power in this moment. Her answer could either strengthen her relationship or expose the cracks beneath it. It could bring her closer to Eva or push them back into competition. It could give Leslie a reason to rage, scheme, and manipulate all over again. And it could force Ted into the center of a new emotional storm. One thing is certain, in Fairmont Crest, a proposal is never only about love. It is about timing, pride, family, and the secrets people keep from others, and from themselves. If Kat says yes, fans should celebrate carefully, because that single word may not end the drama. It may be the very thing that begins it.